Are you watching for June 2025? If you're not, you better watch real close because things are about to heat up and this is do or die for Bitcoin. Bitcoin is now on the clock and everyone, including you, are going to be watching June 2025 because of this chart right here. Take a look. Every single cycle, Bitcoin does the exact same move. Every cycle like clockwork. And every one in June of that cycle, watch what happens. Take a look. 2015, the market bottomed here. Now we had a bullish engulfing candle where the green candle is bigger than the red. After the bullish engulfing candle brings us into a bull run, we have exactly 1, 2, 3, 4 candles to the top. That was the top of the market. Then this whole thing repeats. We have bullish engulfing here, and then we have 4 candles to the top. Let's count them out. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 4 candles directly to the market cycle top. Then the whole thing repeats. Every single cycle, people think Bitcoin is doing something different. It just repeats the same patterns right beneath your nose. Take a look at what happens next. The whole thing repeats. Bottom of the market, bullish engulfing candle takes us out. 4 candles to the top, count them out. 1, 2, 3, and we are in the 4th candle right now. In fact, this 4th candle is going to print at the end of June. And when June happens, everyone better be ready because this thing is about to heat up. In today's video, I'm going to talk to you about what you need to be ready for and what clues we have in the charts right here that tell us how this thing is going to turn out. Hint, it has something to do with the color of the candles. You have to be ready for this. Let's get into it. Hi, I'm Steve. I quit my job over 13 years ago. Been traveling the world since, thanks to my trading and investing skills. Join me for sponsorship-free TA with genuine value that actually works. Subscribe. So here we are on the Bitcoin US dollar index, and today we're on the 6-month chart. Each candle represents 6 months of price action. Now, when you start to look at the candles, some things are going to become very clear very, very quickly. We understand that Bitcoin is on the clock, that Bitcoin has one of its biggest tests ever. We all understand that. Now, let's get more clear about what we expect. Let's take a look at the last candle in 2015, that 4th candle. What can we learn from it? What can we take away? Well, the 4th candle was right here, right? We understand that that first thing happens with the bullish engulfing candle. Now, again, bullish engulfing candles have to be green. The prior candle has to be red, and the green candle has to have a bigger body than the one before it. If all of those things are true, you have a bullish engulfing candle. And a one little tip, bullish engulfing candle on the 6-month ends the bear market every time. Okay, bottom of the market here, bullish engulfing candle says goodbye to the bear market. The problem is when we have the bullish engulfing candle, nobody wants to believe the market is actually in a bull run. They still believe we're going to go a lot lower. This could be your little trick going forward. And then when you look at the 4th candle from here, one thing I love, and this is why this is the most beautiful structured run of Bitcoin's entire history. It's not even close. Look at the beauty of this. When you have this momentum out of the bear market and a move up to the 4th candle, the best case scenario and the most textbook way to do it is have each candle get slightly bigger with the body as we approach the top. What does that tell the market? That tells the market that we're proceeding with strength, that the market is getting stronger, that the market is growing healthy. Now, you can see the unorthodox mess that we had in 2021, but we still did the same exact thing, even with all of these curveballs were thrown into the market. We'll cover that in a moment. You can see that this candle here got a little bit bigger and then a little bit bigger here in January 17, and then even bigger here in the close of that fourth candle. No hype, just facts. Subscribe and relax. Now, here's another thing I want you to pay attention to. With this textbook cycle, 2017, we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 green candles. I want you to keep that in mind because that's going to be a key data point that we are going to use later. And we're going to start to decode how this thing is looking and feeling relative to other cycles. Now let's fast forward to the next cycle. Let's take the learnings of the prior cycle and try to understand what makes sense here. Well, we had another bullish engulfing candle that marked the absolute bottom. And at that point, once again, nobody wanted to believe that the bottom was in. Even though the curveball was dealt for that first candle and the second candle after the bullish engulfing candle, the second candle happened to be a double bottom candle, but it was still the second candle after here. And then we recovered dramatically. You can see because of this recovery on that second candle, we had a huge wick on the downside, which tells us one thing and one thing only: momentum. When you have a huge wick on the downside, it tells us that price went down there, but it was bought up heavy and it pushed price back up, and then we closed up here. So we had momentum on our side and we had a recovery candle. This third candle was a recovery candle. Because we were so out of balance, because of these two candles weren't growing, they had to rebottom. We had this candle which tried to make up for it, but it wasn't sustainable. So you can see there wasn't a slow progression of candles building structure, showing strength. There was a lot of weakness in the market, but we still did the exact same things. It was still the third candle that tried to recover. And by the time we got to the fourth candle, we took so much, we got out of breath with the third candle. We didn't have much left in the tank, to be honest. And then when we got to that fourth candle, we went up so high and we got so excited, but we were met with heavy, heavy selling, which pushed us way back down, which gave us the ability for the first time ever to have that fifth candle have a play in what happened with the Bitcoin cycle. Keep in mind, the fifth candle here did not create a new all-time high, and that fifth candle here started the bear market. Okay, that was where we had failed rallies and we failed. The same thing with this candle here, right? This is the fifth candle, right? You can see the fifth candle here. The fourth candle is the top. The fifth candle, it was a failed rally, right? Same with 2018, a failed rally. But we didn't see a failed rally in the second half of 2021. Because it was an unorthodox cycle and because these two candles led us to the bottom, this next candle had to be so big to recover ground because we had a double bottom. We were supposed to be rising, that it went way out of balance. We were out of breath. We were out of energy. We collapsed with our fourth candle, and that fifth candle tried to recover, but maybe it went a hair higher, but it ended up being a double top, both of them with big wicks to the upside, showing momentum to the downside, and then this whole thing repeated. I just wanted to say, shout out to you if you started following our community during this market cycle. We're building something special. We're building something incredible, and we welcome you in. And especially a shout out to those that have been following for multiple cycles. This is something really special. I greatly appreciate you, and we're going to continue to help change lives, educate people, provide facts in the charts. We had that bullish engulfing candle back in 2023, and that ended the bear market. And so far, we've had 1, 2, 3 green candles showing a beautiful structure. We have to applaud these candles so far. You look at the body of this one, slightly bigger on the next one. You look at the body of this one, slightly bigger on the next. You gotta love to see it. So far, we're showing beautiful structure. We're showing beautiful growth. We're showing respect to specific levels. We understood that our prior top was that 70. We spent a whole bunch of time there. And then since then, we've respected the 70 level. So we've done everything by the book in this cycle, whereas the last cycle was unorthodox, but we still did everything by the book. And then you have 2017 was just like, you know, the dream child, right? It was amazing. The structure is beautiful. This 2017 cycle should be studied forever for Bitcoin as the gold standard of what you would dream of for just in terms of chart structure. It's unbeatable. It's unmatched, right? So far, the structure of this cycle that we're in now is very healthy. There are no signs of extending too far to one side and having we were out of balance in the prior cycle. We're in balance, okay? Now we're in this final candle, and this thing will close at the end of June. So when you look at this, you understand, okay, we've got that first 6 months of the year is going to be inside of this candle. No hype, just facts. Subscribe and relax. And we've got time left to try to make this right. What is it looking like? Can we pull some clues? One of the big clues I want to talk about is this 5 candles that we showed earlier, right? When you look at 2017 as the gold standard, you've got 5 green candles in a row. You start to ask yourself, well, have we ever gotten more than that? What is possible? Well, here in 2012, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 green. 2017, 5. The 2021 cycle, the most green we had in a row was 4. In other words, 66% so far were 4 green candles, and 33% was this 5 candle green in a row. Where are we at now? Well, we have 1 green candle here, 2, 3, 4. We've already printed 4 green. In other words, 66% of the cycle so far only had 4 green, and 33% had that 5th, that legendary 5th. It happened to be on the one that had beautiful market structure. It also happened to be the one that the structure was so good and so sound and so perfect and crisp that 5th candle was the biggest because it respected structure. Just a little clue, right? We're in our 5th candle right now as we speak. What we've never had are 6 green candles in a row. And now we're looking forward to the second half of this year, the remaining part of this year. Could we potentially do something unheard of and have our 6th one? Or is everything that we have left in the tank, are we putting it into this candle that we're in right now, which points the finger directly at the middle of this year? And everybody needs to pay attention to how this thing is going to close when it's time, and what color is it, and what is the shape. Are we going to replay one of the most healthy market structures and have that 5th candle in a row be green? Or are we going to be like 66% and this next candle is going to have some turmoil before it closes? Leave your comments down below. This bull run is our road to 500,000 subscribers, but I need your help. Today, tell one person about our YouTube channel, how we spit facts, go against the herd, take no paid sponsorships of any kind. Road to 500,000, let's go.